Hello, I'm Gus Davis. Welcome to TMN Television on Thursday, January 23rd, our first show of the semester. Tonight we take a look at the recent Communication Department meeting about an absent professor and an upcoming celebrity visit to campus. We also check out another installment of Real People. And don't forget to stay tuned for our Truman Sports Update. These stories and more tonight on TMN Television. You don't want to miss this. Jay Self, chair of the Communication Department, called for a department-wide meeting to discuss the absence of Professor Barry Pointer, who was charged with a misdemeanor for patronizing prostitution at the end of last semester. Self, along with Title IX coordinator Lori Millott, talked about Pointer's absence from campus, the Title IX process regarding the situation, and answered questions from the people in attendance. On December 3rd, Pointer was charged with a Class B misdemeanor for patronizing prostitution. According to KTVO, the Truman Department of Public Safety received anonymous tips about Pointer sending explicit photos and messages to male Truman students through the dating app Grindr. Pointer was offering to pay for items and asked for sexual favors in return, which caused a DPS detective to go undercover and pose as an 18-year-old male. According to Missouri CaseNet, Pointer's initial court appearance was January 8th, but the judge granted continuance. On January 15th, Pointer pled not guilty. His trial setting is scheduled for February 13th. Self says Pointer is currently suspended, but still on the university's payroll. He is not allowed to be on campus or to participate in any student organizations or activities. Pointer was teaching 3 classes this semester, 2 of which were canceled. The students he was advising are currently being reassigned different academic advisors. Millott says Truman is conducting a separate investigation. She says anyone with information is welcome to come forward, and university counseling services is provided as a resource. Tomorrow, Student Activities Board is bringing former Nickelodeon star Josh Peck to Baldwin Hall for an evening of conversation, which will cover a wide range of topics from how he felt making it big as a child star to how social media can be used as a creative outlet. When students picked up tickets in the SAB office, there was an opportunity to submit their own questions that could be selected for Peck to answer. Peck is most known for his role in the popular children's show Drake and Josh, but he has also starred in the Netflix comedy Take the 10 and has a recurring role on The Mindy Project. When asked about how they felt about the event, a freshman student responded she was incredibly excited and she encourages SAB to bring more celebrities to campus. In a study conducted last semester of over 500 Truman students, participants expressed frustrations with parking close to campus. Over 86% believe it's an issue that should be a priority to Truman State University administration. 64.7% of the participants say they find it difficult to find parking close to campus, and 60.1% of them believe parking on campus is very important to them. Maddie Valencia, a fifth-year Truman student, says she thinks Truman's claim that they don't have room to build new parking is unfair because they could replace existing parking lots with parking garages. 2 years ago, over 3,049 parking tickets were issued. Last year, that number dropped by over 600. Last semester, at the time of the study, 159 students appealed their parking tickets through the Parking Appeals Committee of Student Government. At the time, only 15 of the appeals had been approved. Adam Paris, chair of the committee, says they uphold the rules quite often. Truman State University students, administrators, and staff spent the fall semester discussing possible changes to the existing dry campus policy. To understand different students perceive the issue of alcohol on Truman's campus, a committee was created consisting of 3 members from student government, 3 students from the Residence Hall Association, and 1 student from Young Americans for Liberty. Student Government President Deanna Schmidt says student government's stance in the dry campus debate is supporting students who are 21 and older to have alcohol in the dorms or come back to the dorms after drinking, since it is their legal right. Schmidt also says student government supports the addition of a wet campus policy because the new policy could help Truman's enrollment and on-campus living situation, as well as make students feel more comfortable discussing alcohol with ResLife without the fear of getting in trouble. Jana Staskopf, Vice President for Student Affairs, says she's outlined many options the committee could explore, from leaving the policy as it is to modifying it in some way to permit some flexibility regarding alcohol. According to Staskopf, the committee is close to submitting a recommendation to the president. This fall, Dobson Hall will reopen as Truman's first on-campus pet-friendly housing option. ResLife Director Jamie Van Boxel says the idea of pet-friendly housing came from Tiana Lang, Vice President for Enrollment Management and Marketing, and Jana Staskopf, Vice President for Student Affairs. The idea was created to increase retention and residence hall occupancy and boost enrollment. Other universities have been introducing similar projects. According to the Overview of Pilot Program document, the project could help students create a sense of home on campus by providing companionship in the form of a pet that might improve student mental health, enhance academic performance, and create an enhanced sense of belonging on campus. There will be one pet per room, and students who do not own a pet can register to live in one of these rooms. In each single occupancy room, the pet owner can reside with either one cat, one dog, one rabbit, or 2 small caged animals. Pet fees are $50 a semester for dogs and cats, and $25 for other approved animals that are not reptiles, birds, or ferrets. All dogs and cats must be spayed or neutered, at least 9 months old, and have been under the primary care of the resident or their family for at least 3 months prior to moving the pet to campus. Pit bulls, Rottweilers, German Shepherds, and all wolf hybrids have been prohibited from living in the pet-friendly housing, as well as any dogs over 40 pounds. There will be no hall director for Dobson, but there will be another hall director on campus that looks over it. The initiative is still in its testing phase, and the future of pet-friendly housing is unclear. Next up, we have our Truman weather forecast. Stay tuned for after the break for our Truman Sports Update.
I'll never forget the day our landlord called and said, "Read your lease. No pets allowed." My owner tells him my dog ate the lease, but that didn't work. And now I'm stuck in a shelter. But this pit bull is ready for a new crib. I'm loving, loyal, and play well with others. So don't be intimidated by all my muscles, because the biggest one I have is my heart. That's right, I said it.
The men's and women's track and field team both placed in Central College's Dutch Athletic Classic over the holiday weekend. For the men's team, Bobby Campbell broke his own school record in the weight throw and won the event with a throw of 58 feet and 8 3/4 inches. Brendan Baker came in second with a throw of 52 feet and 5.5 inches. Baker also tied for fourth in the shot put. Kelvin Cummings won the 600-meter run. Jackson Foster took silver in the 1,000-meter run. Third place finishes went to Nathan Key in the 3,000-meter run and Blake Laird in pole vault. Overall, the men's team placed fourth in the Dutch Athletic Classic. For the women's team, Elena Pipkin came home with the gold in the 600-meter run, where Natalie Smith received bronze. Silver medals went to Hannah Sells in pole vault and Brianna Barton in the 200. Emily Harrell, Carly Garnett, and Shannon Jones each earned a third-place spot in 1,000, 3,000, and 800-meter run, respectively. The women's team took first overall. The Bulldogs traveled to Illinois College this Saturday to compete in the Snowbird Invitational. Truman's basketball team is going through one of the busiest times of the season, where they have 5 games in the course of 10 days. The women's team overall record is 11 wins and 4 losses. Last week, the Bulldogs played University of Illinois Springfield and finished the game by winning 81-75. This put the Lady Bulldogs on a 5-game winning streak. This did not last for long because they fell to Lewis University by 1 point. The game ended 79-80. Last Monday, the women played Quincy University and finished the game with a winning score of 64-57. The men's team overall record is 11-5 with a current 5-game winning streak. The men's team won 2 games last week. The Bulldogs finished their game against University of Illinois Springfield with a score of 74-61. The Bulldogs gave a great performance in their next game against Lewis University by winning 85-58. Last Monday, the Bulldogs won a game against Quincy University and finished with a score of 84-70 to give them the 5th win in a row. Tonight, both teams travel to Evansville, Indiana to play against Southern Indiana University. This has been your Truman Sports Update. Be sure to stay tuned after the break for Real People with Sam Elkins.
This is the story of a boy who didn't talk for a long time. The boy liked things to always be the same. Any changes would scare and upset him. The unknown was an unfriendly place. The boy was very sensitive to lights and sounds. So he built secret hiding places where they couldn't get in. The boy didn't like looking people in the eye. He wasn't trying to be mean, it just made him feel uncomfortable. Sometimes he would flap his arms again and again.
One day I found out I have something called autism. My family got me help. Slowly, I found my voice and learned all the ways I could live with it better.
Early intervention can make a lifetime of difference. Learn the signs at autismspeaks.org.
Tonight, we take a look at the newest installment of our recurring series, Real People with Sam Elkins. This week's film is Uncut Gems.
Welcome back to Season 2 of Real People. This is Real People Season 2, Episode 1, Uncut Gems review. Very exciting. I'm the host, Sam Elkins, and I'm joined today by 2 guests, Alex McPherson and Haley Mills. Today we'll be reviewing Uncut Gems in a Safdie Brothers film starring Adam Sandler. If you haven't seen the film, this is a spoiler-free review, so feel free to continue. Okay, so Uncut Gems, initial thoughts, spoiler-free. What did you guys think?
It's like overwhelmingly intense, but
train wreck in a good way.
It was like 2 hours of just clenching your fists.
I was like sweating, like almost falling off my seat by the end of the first viewing. I was like, I don't know if I like it, but then I went home and meditated a bit, and I was like, it's amazing. One of the best movies of last year.
Oh, so. I agree. It's probably my second favorite movie of last year. Adam Sandler is really one of the biggest reasons that it works so well, because if it didn't have his like magnetic charisma as that character, I don't think that we would have rooted for his character at all.
He does some really terrible things in the movie.
Yeah.
Makes some really like bad decisions.
Yeah.
But it's like his star power and just like his inherent like likability makes him sympathetic to some degree.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And just everything he did, you're like, I want to hate you, but I can't hate you. And then you continue to root for him throughout the whole movie.
Really, the acting across the board is really good. I remember you saying the Safdie brothers have a way of evoking really good performances, and that is very much true for this movie.
Because I think they did a lot of like street casting. I think feels very authentic and almost like documentary-esque. I think I liked how the movie kind of just throws you into like chaos at the beginning, so it's like you're not really sure what is happening like as a viewer.
Yeah.
And like things are gradually revealed later on, but it's like it's supposed to be overwhelming, so you really feel like you're there.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, you do.
Yeah. I feel like that also helps you be like empathetic towards the characters, because if you're feeling overwhelmed, and then it kind of like puts you into their shoes, like in an overwhelming lifestyle.
Can we talk about Kevin Garnett and how he's so good in this movie?
He had like several great scenes where I felt like he just like captivated the whole scene, and it's like felt like he was like a trained actor. Like
Yeah.
But I feel like even though I think that he had a lot of like great throughout the movie, he also like pointed out other people's greed.
Yeah.
Which I think then helped show how greedy the other people truly were being. If someone who like does have all these flashy things and clearly lives like a very good life, and he's like, whoa, you're being a bit too much about all this.
Because there's a very like surprisingly poignant moment like at the end of the film, like no spoilers. But, like, a confrontation between them that was really compelling and does kind of reveal like how he's revealing other people's greed, like you said.
So final thoughts, definitely a must-see. If you really have issues with like being anxious during movies, maybe hold off, maybe don't. There's definitely a trigger warning for anxiety when going into that film. But if you can get past that, then it's a terrific film. Some great performances, incredible direction. The music is incredible. This movie's trying to make you feel something, and it's trying to leave a taste in your mouth after it. And so, just if you just let it do its thing, then it'll be an experience. So, well, that's all the time we have today for Real People Season 2, Episode 1, Uncut Gems Review. Thank you so much for watching. The next episode is 1917 coming next week, so stay tuned for that. Thanks for watching. Peace.
Thank you for tuning in with us tonight. For complete news coverage, be sure to stay tuned to KTRM, pick up a copy of the Index, and look at Detours Magazine's latest adventure online. Don't forget to also check out our news content on tmn.truman.edu. You can also follow TMN on Facebook and Twitter for breaking news updates. And if you missed part of our broadcast tonight, check out TMN TV on YouTube. If you've ever thought about being on TV, be sure to head on over to tmn.truman.edu/apply to fill out an application today. From all of us here on TMN, thank you for tuning in and have a great rest of the week.